Hi everyone, I'm Grattles and welcome to the Best Start 3 series. This is episode 8 and we are going to do copper. But before we do that, let me just show you around. I did quite a few things off camera, nothing crazy, just stuff that's very boring and a lot that's very time consuming, which is the roads and the electric. So let's hop in and I'll give you a look around. I just wanted to stop here for a second and thank FozzyTX for the $10 super thanks. It is super appreciated and beyond words. Thank you so much, Fozzy. Alright, let's get back to the video. So, it kind of started here when I needed some steps and I built off of here. And this had 1, 2, 3, 4 coming down. And I noticed it linked completely up to our concrete factory. So I actually shortened it and I made rows of 3 for our roads. It just seemed like the best fit to just kind of do this. And then I did kind of this edge point here. And once I started, I just kept going. These are all just 1 meters. You can actually slide uphill on the 1 meters. Anything more than 1 meter, you cannot. But now it takes us down into where our iron factory is. It stops right here, but it'll eventually go to our steel factory. And I put in these power towers and got rid of our poles all over the place. Again, it just seemed like a nice, neat, clean way to kind of keep us up and running. So everything's 1 meter. I tried not to have the grass show through or bumps. Some of it was not too easy. I did have a couple of spots that it does show through, but, you know, overall, it is not too bad, except for in some spots like this and this, which I'm not worried about. I don't like it, but it is what it is. Copper. All right, so we needed copper. I found, let me show you the map here, 3 instances of copper. One is where I'm standing, and then one is here, and one is here, where that new marker is. It should be marked copper as well. And we also have copper back at our place over here. But because we have quartz and caterium and SAM, I might leave that to just kind of do some factories over there for that. And then what I figured was, because our copper is so spread out, we're going to do a copper factory for each thing we're making. This one will be wire. Over there will be copper sheets and cable. So I think we'll start over here with this one. So I just put the miner underneath and I made some blueprints. So let me show you the blueprints, because these blueprints are a little different than the ones we made previously. These are like multi-machines. I also wanted to tell you I went power hunting, power slug hunting, power slug hunting. Because even though I got a ton of power shards and from our power slug hunting for the iron factory, I had 14 left. And because we're going to do multi-machines, it's going to be a little bit of power slugging on these. Let me show you. So this one is copper smelters to wire. I'm going to load this in. All right, so these are all set up for 480. We're going to have 16. So we have 2 sets right now, so that's 8. And we have 8 smelters, 30 per minute, going into our copper wire, which is, I just overclocked it to 30 per minute. So the ingots are 30 per minute and the ingots are 30 per minute. That'll give us 60 per minute wire. Now keep that in mind, because we're going to need these to recycle these for our cables. So that's where I just kind of hooked up these sets of cables, because I figured that's it. We're just going to put those right in front of our, actually, yeah, we don't even need these. I got overzealous. But actually, if we just sit these right in front of our cable, our wire, these cables can just get fed directly into it, and I'll show you why. So each one of these is going to take 60 per minute. What I do need to do is I do need to merge these out into a line, and these are the ones that are going to go to our storage. So I will set this up. Not now in front of you, I'll do it off the camera. But anyway, I'll set up mergers, and I'll probably just use lifts. I'll just use these, and you could point them in. I was going to set them up off camera, but yeah, you know, I might as well. It's not going to take that long, so I might as well do it, right? So then we'll just put the in, say, E, because it's a merger, and put the outputs that way. That's fine. It doesn't really matter where it goes, but anyway. And then we'll just connect these, right? And then we're just gonna make them copper. And there we go. Took 2 seconds. You know, I don't want to hold up your time, so I try not to do this stuff. But anyway, so I'm just gonna save this. So I'm gonna overwrite this just like that, and click it like that, and then go here and save the blueprint, and I'm gonna overwrite it. There we go, and it's there. So now I'm gonna load up the last blueprint, which is our copper sheets, and show you what that looks like. Just cancel. All right, close. No, cancel. All right, cancel, confirm. Okay, I think it made the changes. We'll find out. Anyway, again, 30 ingots, and these usually take 20. We're gonna do 30, so it's a 30 to 30 ingot ratio. It just makes the most sense, right? So it's pretty simple. And this way, we don't have to set up multiple machines. This is really going to make our factory very easy to set up. I am going to load back up our cable to make sure it did stay the way it was supposed to, because this wanted to give me a hard time. Oh, it did. Okay. Oh, you know what we did not do? Let's daisy chain these up and override it again, because I forgot to daisy chain these guys. All right, now we could just save it. So set directory, cable, save, override, done, and then we'll clear. And let's make sure we clear out this. Let's grab it all. We have the power shards in there. We're good. All right, so let's head to the first place we're going to go, which is right here, which is the wire. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to do some building on camera, off camera. Might do a little bit of both. I try to show you what I'm doing and then kind of finish it up. And a lot of people actually like to see the build, just to see what they do compared to what I do and stuff like that. All right, so here we are on top of that miner, and I'm just going to count this out for you. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 8 by 6. It's going to be a very compact factory. So let's go into our blueprints. Let's go into our smelters to wire here. All right, so we're going to want this way. I'm going to press H here. I'm going to have... Is that right? No, that's the constructors. I want to spin that around. So let's spin that around this way, because I want the smelters over to this side. So if I come to, say, this edge piece here, actually I think I'm gonna bring it down this way. So I'm gonna bring it all the way down to this end, and over there we'll be able to put some stairs and stuff in. So let's scoot this down to here. Now I know what you're thinking. These are walls, so what are you gonna do? I have a plan. We're going to use half foundations for this, and leave this as a nice, tight, compact factory. So the 6, I mean, we'll have a little bit of space on this side, but on that side, we're not. Actually, I mean, if you look at this ends at 3, right? We can actually bring this factory probably in by 1, right? And I might do that. I might make it even more compact than it actually would have been. So we'll take a look at that in a little while. That is the least of our worries. We need another floor up there. So let's get a ladder. All right. And this is one of the, I think one of my favorite builds is when I can do like something pretty compact and that the machines line up perfectly almost. I don't know why I made it this high. It's a little high. But you know what? It's fine. We'll just come up here and let's grab that same blueprint right there and make sure the smelters are on that side. I'm going to press H. We're going to move it there and then slide it back. Let me just see. One more. That looks pretty darn good. We're going to snap that in. And let's jump off the ladder here. Make sure everything's lined up. And then we could take off these last 3. 4, I should say. 8, I should say. Alright. Alright, so that's kind of what we got. Right? So we have the ingots getting smelted on this side. And the wire being made on this side. Which means over here, I'm going to need a lift that's going to go from here all the way down under to here. Let's jump down and let's turn this around. Right about there. I'm going to keep this one faced that way as well. And then I'm going to tie it in by doing that. Yeah, I think that's good. Alright, so let's do copper, copper, and copper. And let's go up, back up. Because we got some work to do. Alright, so now that we did that, we need this splitter. And then we need this turned. And again, it's going to be tiny little connectors here. So we're going to have to connect that up very tiny. You can't really see it. I don't care if it's copper or not, looking or whatever. That is in our face. We need to jump off of here because this is very tight space. Wow, I just fell off. Let's come back over. There we go. All right, let's grab this splitter. It's perfect. Get that little belt in there. Now this is the hard thing. Oh, I did it. Wow. I usually have a lot of trouble with that for some reason. Oh. Okay, let's drop down. And I fell behind the machine. Normal. Alright, grab that splitter. Line it up. Get that in there. There we go. And let's try this again. I'm sure to fail. No, I did not. Woohoo! And I need a taller ladder. Apparently, I need a taller ladder. And now I'm gonna miss the ladder every which way I try. This is normal. I usually bounce around until I just hit C and just drop. Because then I get tired of it. Alright, so let's go put a ladder all the way up. That's fine. And stupid me, I don't have to get up to that one. Because the lift goes up to that one. Duh. That was dumb. Anyway. Over here. We could put a floor hole here if we want. We could just go like this. And fudge it. And it looks good enough. Yeah, I think that's fine. So anyway, that is how our ore is going to get up. I'm going to color this again. Because it changes color on us every time we put a splitter on there. I don't know why. But that's just what it does. And then what we're going to need is electric. And we're going to need to bring the wire somewhere to storage eventually. Again, I'm thinking about putting some storage over there. Like a storage warehouse. Or something where we could have trucks or trains pick it up and bring it to where it needs to go. But for now, this is what we got. So let's see. Power. I do have that there. But I don't have anything in this area. So let's see. If I come in around here, I'm just going to go right there. I am going to click on power, grab this power outlet. I'm going to stick it in the wall here. I'm going to click this and click it to there. Then I'm going to copy the wall outlet, put it there, and bring this to that. Alright, so that's something. I'm also going to go up so I can show you. Alright, so these guys are already daisy chained, and I gotta see where the power is on these guys. So the power is here on these. Where's the power for these? Right there, and I just fell inside. So what I could do is since the power is so close right there, I'm gonna take one of those outlets and I'm gonna put it right there. I'm gonna press that one, connect it to there, and then I'm gonna take that across to that guy. Now that guy's gonna connect to the outside power, and then we're gonna have to daisy chain and bring up. I'll show you. It's not a big deal. So anyway, let's see what we can do with this. If we grab this guy at the top, actually what we might do is grab the one over there and bring one over in this area, maybe on this corner. Maybe I'll cut these trees down. All right. If I go like this, and I run in a little bit here. There we go. Let's come up here. Let's see how this would look on the corner here. That would look okay. And then we're gonna, nope, put that away. There we go. And that's gonna connect to that. And then I'm going to put this floor back in. There we go. There we go. All right, so these guys should be on, right? Because this is connected through there. And then this is daisy chained down to here. All I need to do is go like this, and that'll turn these machines on. If I go down to the end here, this guy's only got the one connection. I could go up, bring it to this guy, but now this already has 4 connections. So now I gotta go down the line. This I need to connect to this back machine here, and then I can come down to this machine, get on this ladder, hopefully I did, and bring this to this guy. Next, whoa, went too far. I gotta bring this guy to this guy. All right. And that lights up all these guys. And then I could come down here and bring this. Hopefully I can get that ladder. Where is it? There it is. And bring him to this guy. Run down the line. And connect this to that. And we don't have to worry about any of that power anymore. It's all going. Alright. So this building is up and running. We don't have quite a finished building, but I say we move on to the next step. I do want to color this because I don't like that orange. Alright, so let's go to the cable and the copper sheets. We're going to kind of do something very similar, obviously, because we can do that. So I'll meet you there. Alright, so we're over where we have the other 2 spots. Here's one. I'm going to show you on the map. And then the other one is there. So it's back there. That's on the edge. I am thinking we could possibly do a building on this side and then a building on this side somehow. Again, trees need to be cut. I can probably clean this area up pretty quickly, but I did clean most of it. We do have some iron here as well. Alright, so let's see what we got. So I guess let's start off. Let's put that chainsaw away. I think we might start off. Let's cap this kind of around like that. And then we could do the building up there. Again, we do have some limestone there, but we probably won't even be bothered with that at all. I think we can move in this way. What a creature is in the way. Oh, you're in the way. Die, bird. Get out of the way. There we go. Alright. So our last building was 6 by 8, I think. But this I probably will do the cable here. Let's put the sword away. So maybe what we'll do is, let's see. Let's just go out to there a second. Let's delete that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7. I can probably incorporate the miner in here. I think we have to blow up some of these rocks, but I think I need to make more obelisks because I only have a few. Let's see. I think actually, why do I keep hitting escape? Let's go this way a second. Let's border this around a little bit. We have plenty of space, right? Why are we limiting ourselves to there? Let's just make it, let's just kind of guesstimate what we want here. I'm gonna go this way and maybe go back this way to here. Let's cut this tree down. All right. H. Let's put the miner in here. So we'll go into here, miner 2. We are missing portable miners, not a big deal. I make those on the fly all the time. So portable miners, let's grab a couple. Let's go back and grab that. I want to see if that's hanging over this edge. It's not. Okay, perfect. In fact, what we could do is take this out and lift this up. I like that. Okay. So next, let's see. We can actually, this is going up pretty, let's go off of, should we go off of this height or this height? Guess it doesn't matter too much except for building material like windows. So I guess this height. Let's do this vertical. So I'm just going to go here. Let's go straight up by 10. Let's grab this and press E. Is that touching? No, it's not. So that is right below that one. Let's do the same thing. I'm just going to take that out a second. Grab that a second and come across that way. And then I could take that middle one out and then put it back. It's a good way to judge where we're at. So this could actually just be maybe a basement or storage, or maybe even like we could pull this in for like a driveway where they could pick up underneath here. I think they're all good ideas, I think. I don't know, but you know, we'll just make this a little bit taller of a building. Possibly. I'm not sure. I mean, we could blow up these and put the foundation right here and make the building a first floor and put it back in there. I think I might do that because I hate to waste space. And it could still drop down and be picked up in any of this area here. So I'm going to go make some obelisks and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So let's blow some shit up. I got a lot of obelisks now. I just put myself on some sulfur and mined up a whole ton of it. And a lot of these rocks might actually just be covered. That one definitely won't be. So let's see. Probably didn't even need all these obelisks. Let's see. We shouldn't have, well, if I went to Zoop instead of that might help. All right, let's grab that and then chop it down. All right. Yeah, I totally didn't need all those obelisks, but eventually I will. I want to get rid of the poisons and the plants and stuff like that. That might show through. It might not. Nope, it won't. It won't. Let's just fill this in. All right, so now that that's filled in, let's see about... All right, so that's where our miner is. Not a big deal. This is going to be blueprints, copper. Oh, these are going to be to the wire again. So the inputs to the smelter are going to be that way. Let's press H. We actually have, you know what? I'm going to spin this around this way, I think. Where's the smelters? Smelters over there. Well, Well, that's a problem, maybe. Because they're pointed in the wrong direction. That is the one... Oh, I pressed not the right button. H. So, technically, I have it coming in from that side and not this side. It's not a big issue. Not at all. How much room do we have over here? 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2 here. I think we'll move it down. And we'll move it... How much space do we have? We could move it in to about there. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna put that right there. I think what we'll do is we'll take away this and we'll make this one less, because I am a very symmetrical person. I like things symmetrical. It's just how my brain works. It's fine. That'll work there. All right. So now what I'm looking at here is I got to remove all this because we don't need these. They're going to go directly into the cables. Over here, I might want to reverse this. So the input is actually coming from this side. I mean, it makes the most sense since it's right here. Let me set up the next floor. So let me grab a ladder again. Sure. Yeah. Ladders are so important, honestly. You know what? I'm going to add a floor to this. So it gives me a little bit of space first. And then come down, hop on. All right. I'm going to grab the blueprints again for the copper to the wire. I want the smelters on this side. I'm going to press H. The smelters are on this side. That's good. I'm going to move it down. Not too far. That's a little too far. There we go. And this has to come back to here. There. And that should be right. Okie doke. Alright. I do not want to dismantle the whole blueprint. I just want to remove these. I don't know why I took off that. But anyway, I'm just going to make these go in the opposite direction. Starting from here. This splitter is going to come in from that side. We're going to go that way. And it would help if I did not remove that, but it's fine. Okay. And the input goes there. Press 3. 3 is my hotbar. In case you're new to my channel, I yell out hotbars. Let me see. Let's color this in our copper. There we go. And we're going to grab that belt. Alright, so those two are done. I have to do these two, and then we have to do the fronts where we just removed them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, that was pretty painless, to be honest. It wasn't bad at all. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to add another piece of floor here. So we're going to need a ladder up to that floor. Probably. We're just going to remove these guys. See if I could step back. If I remove this, I can see these better. Alright, so those two floors are done. I'm going to jump down. I'm going to get rid of this here a second. Drop down to here. Alright, that was pretty painless, honestly. Let's go ahead and grab the blueprints for the cable. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and flip this. They got to line up with this guy. Right? And I'm going to press H. I want to make sure the inputs match up perfectly. They do. I could move it back to there. And that works. I'm going to have to add some floors to these guys. And I'll keep going as we go up. Alright, we could add a floor here. Do the same thing. Press H. I'm going to drop down and just make the connections here. So I'm going to grab this guy right here and connect these up. And then we'll go up and do the same thing and do the other two floors. Alright, so everything seems to be hooked up, and this floor that we put in as a temporary, Wow, I just fell in a hole. Doesn't match up with this one, which is fine. What we'll do is we'll just use this height. That's completely fine. And we'll make this the same height. I think it just makes the most sense that way, right? So we could just do that. Just take that off a minute. There we go. So it'll be this height, which is good. All right. So now everything seems to be lined up perfectly, I hope. In here is going to be where the smelter is going to come in. The ore, not the smelter. Ay, ay, ay. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's hop on up. We're going to go all the way up to this floor. I'm going to squeeze through these machines. I'm going to take a lift from here. Now, these are not colored, which is driving me crazy. Which we can add this floor here. That's fine. Wow, that went a little too far, didn't it? It's fine. Alright, let's color this up. It's driving me crazy. Alright, that's good. Alright, we're going to take this lift, grab it, bring it all the way down to this floor here. What we're going to do is we're going to just have it come in right there. We're going to take this splitter, pop it in there, and then if we grab that, it'll be the same color. Again, you're not going to see it anyway, and it changes color all the time anyway. And that will change again once we connect those splitters. This, what we'll do is, I think what we'll do, let me take this off and this off a second. Just for a minute. There we go. Let's make a 3. Now, as you can see, it sits funny. I'm gonna bring this up just a little bit. I could bring that miner up to this height. And then I could still drop it down if I want to, but it just makes more sense to do it this way. Okay, let's grab that miner again. There we go. Now, we could either turn it this way or this way. It really doesn't matter. I think that way might be a little bit better. Let's grab 3. We're going to do this straight if we can. So what we're going to do is let's bring this in pretty tight like that. Wrong color. All right, so we're going to be putting those splitters on. I'm going to be putting floors on. And then we got to connect the electric. So let's do the splitters first. Oh, that one we don't need to do. Hello. Well, that works because then we could just do that. All right. So now, that will be all hooked up. These machines will fill up. And again, we'll have to do the electric. Now, I say we start the electric this way because this, and we'll work our way down. So let's see, I got a ladder here, which I missed. Of course I missed it. There we go. This machine can hook up to this machine. Then this machine can hook up to that machine. And then, oh, don't fall. That machine, let's drop down now, can hook up to this machine. So now this is going to go down the line this way. So now this one can hook to this one. And then this one can hook to this one. And then this one will hook up to the one down below, which is that one. That is perfect. Let's see if I can climb back up. There we go. Okay. So let's come back down to this one. This goes to here. And then this one will go to that one. I'm gonna change the color really quickly to this and that. And some of these. There we go. Now we need to connect from here and bring it down to this one. There we go. And then this guy connects to there. And this guy connects to there. And that leaves this one for our connection. So this is where we're going to have to bring in some power. So let's come underneath here. Let's go ahead and grab an outlet. And then let's come to this outer wall. I want it pretty high. And then we also need to come down pretty low. It's going to go into here. So let's put in a power here. There we go. So now this will connect into the floor. This floor piece will connect into this floor piece. There. Now I can close up the floor here. And let's see where we can draw some power from. There should be a... Actually, no, there isn't. That one might be our closest, so we might need to move one somewhere over in this area. I'm wondering if we could stick it right here. That would be great, but it might be too far. Let's see. So if we press 2, which is my power, these guys can go pretty far. 2 or 3 connected. Okay, that's pretty good. Run up here. Just don't be too short by a little bit, because that will be annoying. Alright, it's not. There we go. Now, will a power reach from over here somewhere? Let's see. Let's grab this. Where are you? And then we'll press this to there. This can connect to there. And this can connect to here. Now, another thing I forgot to mention was we have to overclock these to 480, and I don't think I did so on that one over there. But it's fine. I'll go back and fix that. Again, building is not complete, but we're up and running. Everything looks okay. I'm going to go into picture mode to make sure all the stuff looks green and all the power is on. Those are just yellow because they're just lacking in the stuff they need. It's fine. They'll catch up. It's all manifold style. So, yep. Okay. So that one's done. Let's grab that miner here. And we got to put a miner here. Probably facing this way. Just going to take this and do the same thing as we did with that. Kind of cap it off. Let's not fall into the void. There's a tree here I'd like to cut off here. Not like that. There we go. Alright. I feel much safer when it's capped off. I don't know why. Anyway. Alright. So we got that going on. Now we have one more building to build. And if we come off of this height, I think we can go just this height, right? And then get rid of that. Get rid of that. That. Thank you. This I'll probably do this. And then this. Alright. Wow. I need to jump up there. You know what? We need some stairs anyway. Why don't we... Wait. Can we cut this back? I think we can maybe get away with it. Let's see if we put stairs here. Yes, we can. Alright. That's good. Let's grab this. So we have an iron node there, but I'm not too worried about it. And that doesn't have to be where we come in with the stairs. It's fine. So we have 2 here. Let's do that as 3. And then 4, 8. And this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that. We did not get this straight. Well, alright, we'll get it. That's fine. Alright. So right now we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is exactly the same size as our wire. So that should work. I'm just going to take these stairs and move them down a little bit here. And we'll take this foundation, move it down to there. And now let's see what it looks like as far as our copper sheets. So here we are with the copper sheets. That gives us room in the front, which is good for, just press H. For room to get in the door, I think that would be good. But then our ingots have to come in from the other side. I don't want to do that. I don't want to change this around. So I think what we'll do is we'll just, because we have space there, it's fine. I'm going to press H. We're going to definitely move this that way. This needs to be moved that way. This still gives us enough space here to come in the door. And I think that's going to be it. How much space do we have on this side? 1, 2, and 3. We have 1 on this one. I think we're going to move over by 1. So now we have 1, 2, and 2. And I think that's where we're going to put it. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's okay. All right, let's grab a ladder. I'm going to go closer a little bit. There we go. All right, let's jump up here. Not that far. I just wanted to get to the tippy top. All right. I did it again. Almost. All right, Q. Blueprints. Copper sheets. We want the smelters this way. So that's where we're going to put them there. Going to click H. Move it back to there. And that looks pretty darn good. And we're going to snap it in. Get rid of that ladder a second. All right. So here's where our miner is going to be coming in. That is crooked. I don't want a crooked miner. See if I can grab that miner again. Come on. There we go. And let's make this as straight as we want. All right. This has to go over to there. I'm going to just do this for a second. Approximately where I want to be is there. Pretty much do that. Right? Let me see what I can do here. So if I come under, say, can I reach that one? I can. All right. I'm going to just take this. Press E. Do that as a 1. Take this. Come across here for now. Now take that. Go all the way up there. Come down. Drop it into... Ouch. Come on, give me the space here. Ooh, that's a little tight and there's a rock there. But I could possibly blow the rock up. Nope, not like that. Blow that one up. Why not? I made a lot of obelisks. Alright. Yep, that's fine. It's a little bit into the grass here, but I don't care so much that I'm worried about it. I am going to take this out a second and this. Come back around this way. Like so. These are going to be... Let's come back here. This is where I want to be. Here. 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 Alright. I'm going to grab the one here. I'm going to grab this out and make it a 1. Just for now. go into here and come across to say there, right? No, maybe there. Maybe here. There. That'll work. Alright, I'm going to put a lift on here and spin it around that way. Just for shits and giggles, I guess. That goes underneath. I don't need it, actually. We're just gonna go like this and bring it up. I'm gonna be careful not to fall into the void, because that is something I would do for sure. Alright. So now I'm gonna grab this back. Like that. This guy. And sit there like that a second. Yeah, that's fine. Let's grab, not that. Not that, that. Alright, we're gonna come back to there. And this, yeah, it hooks into there. Funky. Because it goes under the ground. Let's try this again. I might... Huh. Boy, I'm really taking a chance. Because I am lucky I don't fall into there. Alright, let's see this again. So this is the input. I know that for a fact. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to go all the way to the top. Come on. That is going to be the input. Drop down. What if I come up a little bit on it? I mean, I'm willing to do that. It's fine. Yeah, that will be alright. And it won't show, I don't think, at all. Let's see if I could slide under here, do that. Get rid of these ones. Get rid of these ones. Take this. Come across this way. And because this is an edge we don't want to fall off, we'll put a little safety net on here. That'll be alright. There we go. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright, so we got that going in. We need the splitters. That does show there. But what we could do, possibly, is put a floor hole here. Let me see if I can just press H, scoot it over, and you won't notice it. See? And then take this, put that there, that there. I can't quite see that one. I'm gonna just put that into there, that into there, and then we need a ladder. There we go. Alright. Alrighty. So that is where we're at with this. I do want to change the colors here. Alright, so the ingots will be being put in. We definitely need to daisy chain this to electric. We need the electric to pass from there to there, there to here. Let's put a corner on the building here. Let's grab this and we'll go vertical. We'll go all the way up. And here's where the electric will start. It's right here. And then we'll take that out. And then we'll take something up here out like that. And then this one. And then let's go ahead and grab our power outlet. We'll put it right there. We'll put another one up there. Press that to there. and see if that will reach to that. It will. That is a good thing. Come back over to here. Grab this and connect this. Where was that outlet? Did we not put one in here? We didn't. Okay, let's do that. Copy that. That gets hooked to this. And now that get hooked to that. And that's okay. Let's come over to here. This one will hook to this guy. Alright. Let's close this up. And close up there. So now, let's jump up on the ladder. I'm gonna drop over to here. This is the second floor. Drop down. There we go. Just gonna get rid of that a second. Press 2. Bring it up to here. Close that. Alright, so that's gotta go back down this way. And then we get to here. And this guy. Why did I delete the bottom floor? I keep doing that. Oh well. It's fine. And now that can go back. And that can go back. One more floor. And we'll have the power all hooked up. Bum bum bum. Alright. That is hooked to there, which means... Wow. I'm stuck. This guy can get hooked to him. And then the one above here can get hooked to there. Alright, so all the power should be to here. I really love the daisy chaining. I can't say it enough. Honestly, I absolutely love it. Alright, I'm going to... What is there? What is there? Invalid placement. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Could do that. That's fine. So then we could do that. And that is invalid placement. We'll just do that. And then once we get to this one, we'll just cover it up like that. That should be fine. And then I could put the 4 there. It's fine. Alright, so let's take a look in picture mode and make sure everybody's up and running. Those are yellow. I don't have any power to the miner. So that would help. What we could do is... Let's see where we are here. Come through here. Come through here. The power is there. Let's come over to here. I'll bring the power down to here. So I'm just going to go like this. And then I'm going to come over to here. Power should be there. Power should be under this one. So let's go ahead and do this. Right there is fine. Right over here is fine. I'm going to squish under here. There we go. Alright. I need to jump up here so I can see what I'm doing. Alright. This is going back to there. I'll put this wall back. Alright, this one, actually I want to bring it to this one because it'll show on the outside and I don't want to. I'm going to press that. Where are you? There you are. That to there. That to there. That to there. This should have came down lower. The reason being is it's going to show through the thing there. And I don't want it to show at all. There. Close that. And now I'm going to bring this guy over to there. And boom. Now, this does clip into here. If you don't like it, what we could do is possibly, actually, let's just do this. That's a 4 there. And then make that concrete. And then we could do a wall hole if you want to be technically here. So what you would do with this wall hole, let me show you. You take a wall, take a basic wall, put it in there, and then you take the wall hole, and now it will snap to it. Press H, and I hold control when I move it because it's like a half a notch. I could go up a little bit. There we go. And then you can remove the wall, and then you got your floor. I mean your wall hole like that. And that looks just fine. It definitely works. Alright, so over here, I think what we'll do is we're gonna bring this... Actually, what we'll do is come here like this. I'm gonna take this one, come across. Wow, I'm not zooping apparently. And then we could also come in like that, and it closes that up. Alright, so now we can go into picture mode. And again, I have to overclock that miner. I did not overclock that one, and I did not overclock the one over by the wire. So let's do that right from the start so we don't... Oh, that one I copied. Perfect. Alright. So we just got to do the one by the wire. Over here, this has to just be covered. And I'm going to run to the 480. Run to the 480. Wow. I'm going to run to the miner for the copper wire and make that 480. I think I need a nap. Alright, so I overclocked this miner for the copper factory. Well, the wire factory, I should say. I got 3 buildings to build. And if I showed all of this and that, it's gonna take hours. So I think I'm gonna go and finish this building off, and then I'll take a walkthrough with you and show you exactly what I used and how I did it. And then I'll move on to the other 2 factories and do the same thing. Otherwise, it's really going to take a long time, and we're already probably an hour into this episode. So I'm going to go and complete these 3 buildings, and I'll be back. Alright, so the wire building is complete, and I actually made this a little bit smaller than what it was, believe it or not. It was a 6x8. Let's go in and I'll show you what I did. Now, because I had some weird off foundations, I had to do some tricky little things to get this to kind of go the way I wanted it to. So let's go up to the first floor. Now, there is still no lights in these buildings, and that is because we're not making crystal oscillators. And so, yeah. So anyway, these are full foundations. They come out. And so actually, this is, let's say, we'll go from this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 6x5. To get these windows proper, I actually had to use the, what is this? The catwalk intersections, and because they're quarter pieces, they kind of fit well into these. I used these big pillar, concrete pillars to kind of fill in this corner because of the way that it's half foundated and the way the windows were sitting in here. So I took these, I put them here, I pressed H, and I moved them back by 4. And that's how I got them in that way. I had to put the elevator on this outside section. And again, because it is a half of a foundation, I couldn't put a window here. It would be weird. So I used these painted beams and I moved them in. As you can see, these want to sit here. So I had to press H, hold control, and move it back just a half a notch. Now that is a metal beam, but the painted beams are exactly the same thing. H, control, and move it back a half of a section. And it does clip into this window a little bit, so you see a little flashing, but it was the only way I could kind of cover this up. So that was not exactly the easiest thing. Go all the way to the top. Alright, up here, I had to raise the ceiling just a bit so the windows would fit in properly. Because if I had them where they were, where this foundation was, it would have been too low and it would have clipped into this window. So I just moved them up a little bit. I do have to paint the floors in here because I do want them to have like the white floor, the white ceiling. If I were to do that, I'm going to come down a level, go to the white. I'm going to hit G because I only want to paint this. And this way it would only paint the floors there. So that is a tip. G is definitely your best friend, whether it's to paint something or whether it's to delete something. Now this is the sign that says wire, so that's why that's blocked. And again, the same level. If I go down again and I wanted to paint this again, I would do the same thing. But I'm not going to do that on camera. I'll do that later on when I go and finish the other buildings as well. So I am going to hop over to that section over there and build that. Now the only other thing I wanted to mention was I did put in these big concrete pillars like in the corners I said, but then I added one to the edge here to kind of give it a little bit more depth. Over here where the miners were, instead of like filling it in with glass or a solid piece, I just used a concrete wall and painted it the copper color. So that is pretty much it. I did an overhang and with the roof, and I did that because of the elevator, and I don't think it looks half bad. So that is the wire factory. So let's move on to the sheets and the cable. All right, so the cable building is done. This was a lot more, I guess, simple than that one because we had pretty equal foundations and stuff. So these are just, let me take you through. I think that would be the easiest thing. This is that roll-up gate, which is nice. And it just gives me a nice large door. These windows I put right on the edge, and I use these painted beams just to kind of give it something different and unique, like I did with that building with the concrete pillars. I'm trying to keep these pretty simple because 3 buildings is a lot. I do need to put the windows into here on this floor, but up in here we just have the regular constructors. We have the 4x4s coming down just to give us the 2 windows a nice even playing field here. Otherwise it would get like the other one where it's not sitting properly. This wall is enclosed because that's part of the miner piece there. These are all just the 1 meter, and then the outside edge is the 4, and that comes in on the bottom layer, say here. So that would be there, that would be there, and the same went from above all the way down. And then we just used stairs. We didn't use any elevator at all. And then this is it. This is just pretty simple, pretty complete. These windows are in by half. I did want to keep that similar to that building, just to kind of keep the flow of the copper, and doing the white with the copper trim kind of just keeps it all together. I will fill in these windows just like I'll make those floors white in a little bit when I'm done. But now I have to go on to the copper sheets building. The miner, just again 4x4s, connected it to the building with the honeycomb windows. Nothing crazy. The only other thing I really need to do, probably just for aesthetics, is place a wall hole right here and on the other side. So other than that, that's pretty complete, and we're going to move on. All right, so I will be back in, well, a second for you and a few hours for me. All right, so the copper sheets factory is also done. So let me take you through this one. So this has a little bit different corners here. So instead of doing a squared out corner, I use the inner corner extension, but with the curve on the outside. And then I used these concrete pillars and made that extra little bit there. This, I did the windows straight up. And if we come in here, I used the stairs here and no elevator again. Now I did have an issue with these stairs not wanting to click in. Let me show you. So it's fine when I'm up here. As soon as I hit this catwalk piece here, it says an identical building already exists. Well, buildable. It's not true, I mean, but it is true. The problem is it's not identical. These are stairs and these are the floors, and it won't let you build. I hope they fix this, because I mean, I don't understand why you would not be able to do that. The only way you can do that is to remove one of the pieces there, and then you can do it. But then you got a hole in the floor, and I didn't want a hole in the floor because I honestly wanted to make these stairs just kind of going up on this edge. But yeah, it will not allow me to do so. And so, yeah, I hope they fix that, because, you know, I had an idea in mind of what I wanted, and now I couldn't do it. So anyway, I had to move it in, use a half a foundation here. And then again, I had the same issue here, so I couldn't do it here. So it's pretty simple build. Again, I used the floors, and then I used this for the half for where the windows were coming in, because I didn't want to do that again, that build. I wanted to be a little bit of everything of each of the buildings. Again, no lights, sorry about that. That is because we're not making crystal oscillators. I just made a few crystal oscillators, and that is why I was able to get these signs. So now, if I wanted to do a truck or a train, I can always pick up from over here somewhere on this one, and possibly on the side here for this one, we could do a drop off or a pick up. Either way, it would have been fine. Same with over there, we could find a spot to pick up and drop off in there. But yeah, that is going to conclude today's episode. 3 buildings, 3 coppers. We got the wire, we got the cable, and we got the copper sheets. And they're on very separate areas. Well, those 2 are near each other. That one's different. But we did paint them all with the copper and the white. And this way it's kind of uniform. You know where they are and what they're doing and what their purpose is. Next episode. It is between either building steel or making this warehouse. I'm not quite sure just yet which one it's going to be. So anyway, we're going to leave that off here. And if you like my content and you want to see more, like, subscribe, comment, share. I do have memberships, 99 cents, $2.99. With the $2.99, you get a shout out after every episode. I also have in my description my Discord if you would like to join. I also have in the description some of the stuff that I have. It is an Amazon affiliate link. I do get a percentage if you click on any of the links and buy stuff. So I just want to make that clear. It's just to help the channel out, really, because that's all I'm working towards right now, is just working on my channel and work, because that you have to work. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.